Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Reavyne and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another Reavyne's Ramble. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Peacekeeper and the fact that her last two reworks have kind of been a little bit shit, especially compared to some of the newer reworks. Not talking about Lawbringer. But it has been true that lately with the reworks, some of them have been really good, like the Kensei, the Valkyrie, you got Shigoki, some really good reworks there, and some other ones have not been so great. Peacekeeper, it basically didn't get reworked that much. You got a small change, and like they're good changes and everything, but not as much as Kensei and stuff, who got all new moves. Warlord as well, he's another one that springs to mind, sort of got some stuff that did once again make him better, or at least, you know, still competitive, sort of like Lawbringer, but not really anything cool, and it's very lackluster to get a rework for a character, or, you know, the balance change as they call it, but it's nothing special when one guy gets something really cool and flashy and the other one sort of gets nothing. And it is no secret, anyone who's been following my channel for a while, you know that the reason I got into For Honor was because I saw Lawbringer and I'm like, I really want to fucking play that guy. Being let down by that. Second one I wanted to play, and I played a shit ton when it first came out, was Peacekeeper. I always loved Peacekeeper and she has a place in my heart. So I was sort of sitting there and I was thinking about Peacekeeper and I thought, okay, if I could design her right now and do a rework for her, what would I do to make her just really fucking fun to play and really cool? And I already know this is going to shit some people off, those of you who don't like bleeds, but that's a sacrifice I'm going to have to make here. Because one of the coolest parts of Peacekeeper's kit is when you guard break someone and you get to just sit there and fucking shank them 3 times in the kidneys. That is the best thing in the world. I used to love doing that as Peacekeeper. It's the reason why I played her. You just run around, you shank, and then you basically do a flip and kick him in the face and they go flying, right? It is just really cool and it's really fun, and I think they need to lean more heavily into the bleeds when they do her proper rework. So I've gone ahead and got some ideas here on some really cool things that I would like to see. Some really cool moves that I would like to see added to the Peacekeeper to give her some flavor. Just like we got with Kensei, he got the dash forward, you smash him in the face with a weapon, and that's really freaking cool. They also gave him that brand new move that he gets to, you know, do that double flip through the air thing and slap people with his weapon as they try and run away, or it's a good initiator. That's awesome. So there's some cool things we can do with Peacekeeper here, and another thing I want to try and do is move away from her light spam sort of meta, what she's got right now. The recent State of Balance show that Peacekeeper is down the bottom, she's very low, and there's a reason for that. Light spam is pretty much her only tool right now. She has a couple of bleeds here and there, I'll give it that, but, you know, just as many as Nabushi, it's not that great. Especially considering lately every motherfucker and their son has hyper armor. And when everyone has hyper armor, what's going to happen to Peacekeeper? She's going to go for her light attack, All they need to do is just light and then go for their big fucking heavy that's going to go through. Or if you hit a Kiri, just start off with the heavy and go into a hyper armor light. Peacekeeper can't deal with that. You're just hitting right through her attacks. You're doing more damage to her than she's doing to you. And her light spam is really freaking annoying on consoles. It's really freaking annoying to face. But at the same time, as soon as she comes up against someone with hyper armor, she just gets rammed. And not in the way that she likes. And that is a big problem. So I've been thinking if they lean more heavily into bleeds, which will make everything a lot cooler. Yes, some people find bleeds annoying, but it's not as annoying as half the other shit we got in the game. So it's fine if one character or 2 characters are bleed heavy. And if they can move away from light attacks, that would be also good, because the less light spam we have in the game, the better. She's still an assassin. She's still a small little girl running around shanking stuff, so lights will be a thing with her. In fact, you know, she should be the one with the fast light attacks, theoretically, not fucking Lawbringer with his 400 MS tap. Just throwing that out there. It's just out there. You can see it. And a quick caveat before I get into this, because I know what you all like. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I know what's going to happen in the comments down below. Some people are going to be like, that's overpowered because of XYZ. Everything can be balanced with numbers. Balance is all about 2 things. One, you come up with the cool character design and you do all this cool stuff the character's going to do, and then the math guys come in and then they go, okay, that's really cool. How can we balance this so it doesn't, you know, just completely fuck the game? Because you got a light attack doing 18 damage, wink, nudge, nudge. But yes, theoretically, everything should be fine in balance when you go ahead and do the numbers, tweak the numbers, and make everything work with the current roster of everyone else. Now that I've said that, I'm still probably going to read comments down below with how unbalanced everything's going to be. But here we go. I got 3 really awesome moves for the Peacekeeper that could happen in a future rework when she gets a proper rework, and let's get into number 1, shall we? Now, theoretically, I'd put all 3 of these moves in because they're awesome and it would make the Peacekeeper super fucking fun to play. And all 3 of them have their unique place within her moveset because they all do different things, and of course, you can sit there and spam them to death because everything in the game can be spammed, but what you would want to realistically do is place them as you go along to do certain things depending on the situation. And number one is a light attack, because it has to be a light attack. She's pretty quick. Into a spinning low sweep strike, okay? So basically she does a light attack. If she lands it from there, she can basically proc and go into this other move where she does this like spin around and she goes and cuts both their fucking ankles out. Now, yes, this will come from a direction, so you can block it. Don't freak out. Your heads don't explode. It's fine. But if this move lands, what it would do is it would basically put some bleed damage on them, so they're bleeding out a little bit, and it would also put a slowing effect on them. I've talked about this in one of my previous videos. When I talked about the brand new Viking hero that's coming out, I've talked about a crush mechanic, a slowing mechanic. You'd sort of put this on her, so it'd be like a hamstring type thing. So she basically stabs them with a light attack, she spins around, she goes and cuts both their ankles out, and it does some bleed damage, and it will slow them for a percentage for X amount of time. That's all balance stuff. But that'd be really cool. If you got someone who's dodging a lot, they're jumping back a lot, they're, you know, doing that running away, then stop thing, all that bullshit, you'll just be able to cut them, boom, and then basically stop them from doing all that crap. That way they'll have to stand there and they'll have to fight you, at least for a little bit, unless they get really, really good at blocking that move. I'm all for adding new mechanics into the game, and so is Ubisoft, considering Nuxia got her brand new traps, and, you know, they've added a bunch of stuff into the game before. Next up is move number 2. And this move combines something she does off of her current guard break. So if you guard break someone, you shake them in the kidneys a bunch, and then if you basically want to push them backwards, she does this like sort of bicycle kick up their body and just like kicks them in the face, and then they stagger back, right? It looks really fucking cool. So for this one, what I wanted to do is I want to have a move where she can basically execute it. It's a brand new move, doesn't go off a light, it's not in a chain or something, but what she can do is she can say, like, you know, do her light combo, light, heavy attack, and then she can go for this move where she grabs both her dagger and her sword, she just digs them into the person's thighs, which will do a bunch of bleed damage. And then from there, she basically just does this like backflip thing, and as she grabs her weapons as she's backflipping out and just kicks them in the face, grabs her weapons out of their thighs, sticks the landing because she's awesome, and they get dazed for X amount of time along with the bleed damage from being stabbed in the thighs. That'd be a really, really cool move because it will show how nimble she is. She's supposed to be this nimble character. It will show her finesse, you know, in all her executions. She's like rolling over people, she's doing backflips, front flips. She's all over the place because basically that's how she has to fight in order to stand a chance against, like, you know, guys like Raider and Lawbringer and shit. She has to be quicker, more nimble, faster. And the Dayz mechanic, yes, I know some people find it annoying, but it's a really cool mechanic when done right, and when it's done off a move that isn't super fucking fast. Raider stunning tap, and that way she wouldn't be able to abuse this move to high heaven. She wouldn't be able to just, you know, stab, flip, fucking Dayz, stab, flip, Dayz, stab, flip. Like, she wouldn't be able to just keep chaining this thing because it wouldn't be like the fastest thing in the world. It'd be fast enough to be able to get it off, but it wouldn't be super fast that most people wouldn't be able to react to it after the first one. And because it would always come from the exact same direction, once people get used to the move, they'd know how to deal with it. It's not off any 50-50s. It's not a soft feint like fucking, you know, Raider stunning tap. It's just a move that someone does. Boom. Once you see it, you know it's coming. Once you get used to it, you're good. But when they get it off, it's a really, really cool move. And it will be on the Peacekeeper in order to try and get it off by, you know, doing that sort of thing. So light attack, heavy, you know, you go for that. You feint it, a normal feint, and then you basically go into it, stuff like that. You got to try and trick them into fucking up so that way you can do it. Next move is a really, really good one, and I fucking love this one just from a thematic standpoint of what's actually happening. It's one of my favorites. It's so fucking cool. So the next move is a running jump attack. So we don't have many of these, okay? So we sort of have the Nikensei's one, right? Where he basically just out of nowhere, he does the spinning flip thing and he slaps him in the back with the weapon. This is going to be sort of like that. Sort of like, you know, the shaman when she's bled someone and you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then you run and just jump on him and bite him. It's going to be in the same vein as that, right? Except unlike the shaman one, there's not really going to be like a full-blown cutscene. It's going to be real quick. It's going to be fast and fluid like a normal attack. And the way this works is the Peacekeeper will be able to initiate this attack. You run, you jump on them, all right? And if they don't block it, what you do is you basically stab both your dagger and your sword right here, right into their fucking chest. You stab it down into them. And the way she lands is she sort of lands with like her feet on their chest, and she just fucking boom, like Wolverine style, right? And then she basically just does a backflip and flips off of them, and they get knocked back a short distance. Now this move would of course do some bleed damage, and it would also do some stamina damage. And this move would be really, really cool because if they're near a ledge, it would fucking ledge them, which would be great. It'd be perfect. Now that is a really fucking cool move. I would pay to see that. Ubisoft, please fucking do that move. And now's the piece of resistance, okay? What will make all these moves work? Because like I said, the reason why Peacekeeper is not doing well right now in the state of balance and all that sort of stuff is because she has light spam as her only sort of tool source with a bit of bleeding here and there, but she gets heavily fucked over by hyper armor. So what you do is these three moves, you'd put them in the game with her rework, and you would give all of them hyper armor. That way you don't have to make them super fucking fast 400 MS things. Okay, you can slow them down a little bit and it will be up for her. So she can basically light attack, heavy, go for the feint, they go for an attack, she initiates any of these moves. And because she gets hyper armor, she'll basically be able to do the move through the person. So it comes down to the person to not just, just go strike happy, because one of these moves will hit and they'll do a bunch of damage. And whatever other effects they have on them. And it will also give her a safe way to be, land these moves if she times it right when other people are attacking, just like Hitakiri and the bulk of her shit. Same with Shigoki with his heavies. Once he charges them up, they get, the hyper armor, he can hit through. Highlander, same sort of thing with his hyper armor heavies. It gives them a reliable way to land these certain moves once they bait someone into attacking them at the right time, or they're quick enough to attack when someone else attacks. This will mean that Peacekeeper won't have to rely on light spam super heavily, because she'll have these other ways of doing damage and doing certain things to set up her other damage, and she'll have other options instead of just tap, 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 oh, faint bleed, tap, 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 she'll have more. And as I was filming this video, I literally just came up with another one on the spot here, so you could have a move where she basically runs and she does a diving thing, sort of like, once again, like Wolverine or Superman, where she just dives face first, just boom, stabs him in the chest, they fall over, and she does like a forward roll off of them, and then she can keep running. You can literally, if you time it right, you can go back into sprints off of them. So you run, dive, stab them, they can't take bleed damage, you roll off of them and just keep fucking running away. That'd be funny. But also you could make that a viable move where basically it's like a tiny mini cutscene thing if you want, or it can be just one fluid move and it knocks them down to the ground. So that way you can sort of like position, if they're trying to get away, you can jump on them, and then as they're getting back up, you can catch up to them, or the teammates can catch up to them. There's tons of things you can do. There's so much you can do with her. She's so cool. But that's where I stand with the Peacekeeper. I really, really like her bleed playstyles. I really want her to be better, and her current reworks have just been shit, especially compared to, like I said, some of the other characters we've had before. I would like to see her get some brand new moves, something really fucking cool to make her stand out, and you can also take the time to balance her accordingly so she's fucking awesome, and these other moves make her go up the tier list, so you can push her up a little bit to the mid, because you want everyone to be around the 50-50 mark. It's never going to happen, but they want everyone to be 50-50 in terms of win rates. That way it's as balanced as it can possibly be. And I reckon there's a way you can do that with these brand new moves to make her a lot cooler to play, a lot more fun to play, a lot less light spammy, and so she can also do a whole bunch more. But I can't wait to hear what you all have to say below in the comment section, and I can't wait to read all the comments of people saying how shit I am because she's going to be overpowered. I can't wait. Let me know what you think you could do to Peacekeeper to make her cooler, fresher, and better. And I'm not talking about the number balance side. That's done after. I'm talking about concept-wise. What moves would you like to see the Peacekeeper have that would make her cool, that would be fun, and that you can, balance later on in order to push her up the tier list a bit. So yes, if you're one of those number people who's like, heavy does this, and you replace it with this, and she does like 0.2 stamina damage down to, refrain yourself, friend. Let your mind run wild. It's concept time. Come up with something cool. Let me know down below in the comment section. I can't wait to see what you all come up with. But that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below. And feel free to check out my Discord and Twitter. There is a link down below in the description box for both of those as well. The Discord is a great way for me to talk to you guys outside the YouTube comments section. And of course, the Twitter is a great way for you guys to get a notification whenever a video is being uploaded, because YouTube is a bit weird sometimes. And if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box, and a link will pop up at the end of the video. And if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to my current patrons whose names you've been seeing in the background. Just wanted to say thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot. And please share this video around. It does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.